All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something powerful today. How the very moments that are meant to break you can actually be the ones that make you. We're diving deep into that mindset of resilience, that voice inside that just says, I will not quit. You know, life has this funny way of picking fights with you, right? Whether you're ready for them or not. So the real question isn't if you're going to face a challenge, it's what you're going to do when it shows up. So let me ask you, what do you do when the battle chooses you? Okay, so that brings us to our first big idea here, life's unavoidable battle. Look, before we can even get into winning, we got to be real about what we're up against. Hardship, it's not some rare thing. It's part of the deal for everyone. Let's just be honest here, life is gonna knock you down. I mean, it's gonna hit you so hard sometimes you're just left on the mat, gasping for air. And it's so important to get this. That is not your fault. It doesn't mean you failed, it just means you're in the fight. But this is where everything changes. Yeah, getting knocked down, maybe you didn't have a say in that, but what happens next, that's all on you. This quote right here, it draws a line in the sand. Staying on the ground, well, that becomes a choice. But getting back up, oh, that's a statement. That's the moment you decide to take your power back. Okay, so if it's your job to get back up, where does the energy for that even come from? What's the fuel? Well, that's what we're digging into next. We're talking about finding that engine inside you that just won't quit. Let's talk about the power of your why. So often, when we're at our absolute lowest, we start looking around for someone to save us, right? A hero. But that's a total dead end. The message here is crystal clear. You have to go inside. You keep looking outside for the stuff that's already in you. That strength, that motivation. It's not out there. It's in there. You just gotta find it. So how do you actually do that? How do you find it? Well, it's kind of like a three-step process. First, stop looking outside. You've got to look inward. Then, you've got to figure out who you're fighting for. Is it your family, your community? Maybe it's for the person you want to become. And finally, you have to define what you stand for, your values. Because let me tell you, when your why is bigger than just you, your energy, it becomes a whole different ballgame. And this really gets to the heart of it. When your why is bigger than your struggle, you simply cannot be broken. Think about it. If your reason for fighting is bigger than the pain of the fight itself, what can possibly stop you? It's like your personal armor. The struggle can't get through it. All right, let's keep building on this. We know where the strength comes from, but what do you do with all the pain, the hurt? Well, here's a pretty radical idea. What if you didn't just get through it? What if you used it? This section is all about recycling your pain. So what does that even mean, recycle your pain? Look, it's not about pretending you're not hurt. Not at all. It's the exact opposite. It's about taking all that junk, the hurt, the failures, the setbacks, and turning it into fuel. Pure fuel for your growth, for your success. And you can see the two ways to look at this, right? The victim's view and the victor's view. When you have a victim mindset, pain is a stop sign. It tells you to quit. But if you've got a victor's mindset, that same exact pain is fuel. It's a signal that you're being pushed to get better. You see it as temporary. But the growth you get from it, that's permanent. I mean, listen to this. This is so powerful. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it. Think about that for a second. The pain is already there. So why not get something out of it? Don't just suffer through it for nothing. Let it make you stronger. Let it make you better. Get a reward from it. So all of this leads to a fork in the road, a fundamental choice. Now that you know you can use your pain, you have to decide, victor or victim. It's a question you have to answer. And it really boils down to this. You've got two choices in life. You can just accept things the way they are, or you can take the responsibility to change them. That's it. Those are the options. And this phrase, I will not be a volunteer victim. That is so key. Look, things are going to happen to you that you can't control. That might make you a victim of circumstance, sure. But to be a volunteer victim, that's a choice you make. This is about deciding right now that you refuse to be defined by what knocked you down. Okay, so this brings us to the grand finale, the unstoppable mindset. This is where we put it all together. This is for the people who just refuse to lose. It's about becoming absolutely relentless. So they're going to tell you you're outnumbered. They'll say the odds are impossible. They'll say you're outmatched, you're outgunned, you're done. But you know what? We don't retreat, we don't run. That's just not in the playbook. You plant your feet, you'll hold the line, and you move forward. Always forward. And this becomes your new rule, your mantra. It's not over until I win. It's not over when you're tired. It's not over when you're hurt. It's simple. The game clock doesn't run out until you're on top. Period. End of story. This is the unstoppable code. This is what you live by now. Forget I can't. It's I can, I will, I must. Quitting? That word isn't even in your dictionary anymore. Every time someone tells you no, it just adds fuel to the fire. Because you know the simple truth. Only the strong survive. So here's where we land. Pain? It's temporary. It always fades. And those scars you'll have, they don't have to be reminders of what hurt you. They can be marks of victory, proof that you survived. So the only real question left, the one only you can answer, is this: will you get back up?